Hello, everyone. Back with another 2020 election prediction. This time we have Vice President J.D. Vance facing off against Governor of Illinois J.B. Pritzker. So Pritzker is one of the more progressive governors. Um, he legalized marijuana in the state of Illinois. He got a $15 minimum wage in the state of Illinois. So those are pretty good things for him, especially in the Rust Belt states. That could definitely help him out, get better margins in those states than other establishment Democrats would. He's a billionaire, so maybe that might hurt him among some progressive voters who are very anti-billionaire. But let's go and see what happens in this scenario. So starting off with the first few states, Ohio is just safe red. Iowa is just safe red. Ohio is J.D. Vance's home state. In Iowa, it's a pretty rural state. I don't think J.B. Pritzker could pull off or even make it close in a rural state like Iowa. Nebraska's second. It's a suburban district. I think he'd be able to pull off a win there. In Florida, it's just safe red. Same with Texas. I don't see Pritzker getting close in these two southern states that are kind of trending red. In New Mexico, Virginia, New Jersey, these are all likely blue states, in my opinion. Same with Ellen, or even Minnesota, I think would be a likely blue state, a margin about 5% here. In New Hampshire and Maine, I think they would go how you usually go. New Hampshire's lean blue, Maine's likely blue, but I think Vance will be able to win Maine second by about 9 points, so almost a safe red victory in Maine's second district. So now we're down to the 7 swing states. Starting off with Nevada and Arizona, I would still put these two states as lean Republican. Again, these two states, Nevada's just trending Republican at this point, and Arizona, Republicans keep gaining in voter registration advantage here. North Carolina and Georgia. North Carolina is a lean red state. I don't think Pritzker would really win this state. Georgia, depends on who he picks for VP. But I'd still probably put this as a tilt red state. In the Rust Belt states, I think Pritzker would be able to win Wisconsin. I think he'd actually get a 1% victory here, so he turns this into a lean blue state instead of a tilt red state. So I think he'd do well in Wisconsin. Michigan, I also think he would win this state. I think he would do good in Detroit. He would fix the margins Democrats had there last time. He would probably make some gains in the suburban parts of Michigan as well. Again, he did push for a $15 minimum wage. I think that would really help him out in a lot of these Rust Belt states. I think a lot of populist voters and independents would like him for that move there. He did legalize marijuana in Illinois as well. So he could be seen as a candidate that's willing to make some changes here. He actually got those changes legalized in Illinois. So he's not a do-nothing politician, which I think a lot of voters in Michigan would like. So I would put this as a tilt blue state. However, Pennsylvania, it's kind of bleak for Democrats in the future. They're losing a lot in this state. And Trump's approval rating of Pennsylvania is basically neutral. Some polls have him down by 1, some polls have him up by 1. So even though his approval rating's -5 nationwide, he still has a decent approval rating in Pennsylvania. So I would still be giving a narrow edge to J.D. Vance in this state. Plus, voter registration still looks good for Republicans in Pennsylvania. But I think Pritzker's going to be able to make it close. So it wouldn't be lean red, it would be a tilt red state. But I still have Vance winning the Electoral College. And I think Pritzker actually wins the popular vote by 1%, but loses the Electoral College narrowly due to Georgia and Pennsylvania voting against him. So this is just how I think the scenario would go. If you're new to this channel and you enjoy content like this, you should definitely consider subscribing. Other than that, I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.